Do you care about being in that rhythm at all, or does shaking it up like totally okay with you?
Yeah, it was fine with me. I don't know that I was in much of a rhythm, so I was cool with it.
What kind of comfortability is kind of coming out and hitting a home run, your first pitch run of the night after a shaky weekend in Auburn, and especially going into Alabama this weekend?
Yeah, it's big, not just for myself, for the team. I think we didn't score in any of the games until like the seventh inning over the weekend, so to go out there and score in the first was big, and then we just kind of rode that out for the whole game.
Bottom of the fourth inning where you guys had 5 singles and kind of were able to just pass the bat back, as Jake talked about, that's something you guys, it's maybe even a bigger talking point than the whole run. It's just being able to do that. How big was that for you guys?
Yeah, it's huge. I think, just keep the line moving. That's a big thing that we always say in the dugout. Quality at bats, 3 quality at bats in a row. How many times can we do that throughout a game? And that was an instance where we did it with 2 outs. So that's big time for our offense. And that was a good response to the 2-run homer that they hit in the top half of the inning. So it was a good job.
Jay just told us, obviously, the news of Gavin being done for the year. I mean, just talk about, what have you seen him handle? Obviously, kind of the news where he wants to pitch, he's not able to, and kind of what do you expect in terms of rehab for him and how he'll tackle it?
Yeah. It's upsetting. I mean, he's been, obviously I roomed with him my freshman year, so I've known him for 3 years. I think he's a terrific human being, and he has handled this better than anybody I would have ever expected to handle this. He's the best competitor on our team, even though he's not pitching. And, I know that this is hard for him, and I'm going to try and be there and support him as best I can. But, yeah, he's been great. He's been in good spirits. I know he's, upset and I'm sure very frustrated. But he has not let that show at all, and he's been a great teammate. He's always helping out in the dugout, and I applaud him for that a lot.
What was your process to kind of get back on the right track? The first pitch you saw, like on Monday, what were you doing?
Yeah, just be on time for a fastball. Very late this weekend, very in between pitches. Didn't see the ball great, so just wanted to get back to seeing the straight one and hitting it.
Two more for Jared.
I think Jay said too that you guys don't sit down and talk yesterday, and just what about that conversation maybe sort of at least helped you sort of come along?
Yeah, I mean, he's done that throughout my career since I've been here, of just kind of knowing exactly when to bring me in and kind of meet with me and kind of reset some things. And so, he just gives me a different perspective. Obviously, he sees, firsthand everything that I do. And he's, been around some of the best players in college baseball and then at the professional level as well. So, I really listen to what he has to say, and I trust him. And, it's like a, very personal one-on-one conversation. And at the end of it, I always feel like a good reset button.
What are those red zone offenses? Those red zone sequences in practice like what do you guys do and how does that help you?
Yeah, it's just situational baseball. I think it helps slow us down when it comes in the game. If we work on it in practice, when it comes up in the game, it'll be a little less stressful for us. And so it's just kind of running through those situations. Runner on second, less than 2 outs, getting them to third, or runner on third with less than 2 outs, getting them home. So those kind of things, and then at least us doing that in the game.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
In terms of just the comfortability and where your pitches are landing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just every time take them out and take something and learn with it, good, bad, whatever that really is. And I feel like just keep getting out there and, getting more comfortable with that, like you said, is huge. And, just learning from it each time.
What's the key for you in throwing strikes?
That's a tough one because you just can't think when you're out there. It's you and the catcher, in this case, Luis and plays tonight, and it's just kind of seeing the glove and just going at it with full intent.
I guess physically then, how do you know it's clicking, I guess?
You can't really take much from the pregame bullpen before you go out there, but I feel like as soon as when you're out there, it's full go, and whether that's as soon as the batter steps in the box, you just got to go for it. Some days you don't have it, but on those days, it's like, can you bring it with your best stuff that you have for that day?
The development of some of the other guys in this bullpen has been a storyline to watch. Can you just talk about how close you are with guys like William, Cooper, and just all these young guys, as you guys are kind of the next crop of young pitchers here?
Yeah, I mean, they're my best friends. I mean, when we're not here, we're all together. Just rooting for each other every time we take the bump, whether it's me, William, Cooper, or Kaysen. Just trying to be that first guy out to congratulate him on their success, all 3 of them. I think it's really important. I mean, Kaysen's been lights out just kind of like talking to him, hearing from him. I know we're the same age, but he's got a really strong head on him. So just kind of listen to what he says and try to take as much as I can.
What's something that he said maybe you have taken away?
Don't think as much. Just go. It's the same game you've been playing since you were 5 years old.
I think you went over 40 pitches, 2 straight appearances. Is that something that you've wanted to achieve at some point this year?
Oh, for sure. I always want to throw as much as I can. But, whenever they call my name, just got to get the first guy out and then go on to the next and then hand the ball to whoever's next.
You hit the first guy you faced tonight, so how did you, and you loaded the bases, how did you reset in that moment?
I feel like it's just next pitch. You can't change the one that happened before that, so the only one you can change is the one that you're about to throw and just kind of get into that next pitch mentality for sure.
What have you improved on the most throughout the season?
On strikes, for sure.
What kind of confidence does this give you going into this weekend, facing Alabama on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday after Auburn this past weekend?
I think a lot for sure. It's kind of like that same thing, just taking whatever you can from that last outing, and it's just knowing I have the ability to get it there when I want to and just kind of continue to feed off that and use every outing I can to, take it into the next one, just keep it the same game.
You talked about wanting to be ready when your name is called. What does the next 24, 48 hours look like for you, as I imagine you want to be out there at some point this weekend?
Get to bed. Yeah, it's been a long 2 weeks or so of travel, and it's finally good to sleep in my own bed. So, get to bed, recover. It's best training staff we have, and, between Coach Chris Martin and then the trainers, they have a great plan for us. So just staying true to them, listening to them, and recover for sure.
2 more for Matt.
Coach told us that Gavin's going to be out for a year, so you're going to be relied upon more along with some other guys. How do you prepare for that uptick in role, if you will?
Yeah, I guess it's the same thing. When your name's called, just continue to be ready, and even when it's not called, continue to work and cheer for the guys that are in the game. And I feel like Gavin may be out, but if you could see, he's the first one on the rail every time. He's rooting for you. It's the only voice I can really hear. He's actually my locker mate, so he's been great through everything.
What's it like being his locker mate?
It's awesome. Gavin's a character for sure, but he's also, pitching some really big spots here. And as an older guy, he loves to help us younger guys out. I remember I came out after my last inning tonight, and he was the first one to give me a hug and say, "Great job," and just, continue to build off it.
Tonight, it seemed like you worked the high inside a lot. What is it about whatever pitch it was that you were throwing and locating? What is it about that pitch that, I guess, is deceptive enough to have those swings?
I think it's just using the previous pitch to the best you can, whether that's a misfire or, not where it wanted to go, just kind of like reading the hitters and seeing what they want to do with it and just continue to make pitches.